Okay, we're going to do measurements of coterminal angles. They have a question here written out for us. I've rewritten it very sloppy, so I'll read it to you. State the measurements of the coterminal angles when the principal angle, this is important, the principal angle is 190 degrees and the domain is between negative 360 and 540. Okay, so when we go to draw this out, when we go to focus on a principal angle, we're going to think about like an XY axis, and what we're going to do is imagine it a circle going around it. Okay, and we've done this before with radians. We're going to start here, and an angle that reaches up to here will be 90 degrees. Okay, so when we make this movement around in a circle, that's 90 degrees of movement. When we get back to here,
180.
Exactly. We come around to here.
270.
Yeah, and when we come back to here.
360.
Okay, so 360. Now, when I follow along, it's obviously going to go larger than 360, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that principal angle at 190. Well, where would 190 roughly be here?
Right in the middle of that.
Would it be right in the middle here?
Or a little bit, just a little bit over.
Yeah, we just passed that. Okay? In other words, this would be a movement of 190 degrees. Okay? With our principal angle. Now, the only thing is, as we come around, we got to talk about all the other angles that are within this domain. See, this domain that we just talked about only goes from 0. Remember, we started at 0. So this domain only goes from 0, when theta is equal to 0, and 360. But the domain in the question is far larger. In fact, it goes back an entire rotation of negative 360. Okay? So let's do the reverse. If we were to go back negative 360, what would this angle, do you think, be if all of these were negative? What would that 190 be?
Negative.
Yeah. It'd be a negative 190. Okay. So I guess the best way to explain this is if we start at our principal angle of 190 and we go back and forwards from there, to do an entire rotation from this line, so this line is right here at 190, right? An entire rotation from there is 360 degrees, right? So if we were to go back 360 degrees, so go back this way, that's the opposite direction, where would we be is what we're talking about. So in other words, a negative or a drop of 360. So 190 minus 360 is going to give us exactly negative 170. Now let's think of that same idea. Let's go up 360 from 90. Do you know where that's going to take us?
450.
That's going to take us to 570. Now does 570 fall under 540? No. So this actually doesn't fall in our domain. Is negative 170 above 360? Negative 360?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So negative 170 falls. So our two angles are our negative 170 and our principal angle of 190. They're the only two that happen to fall in this domain. We could continue. We could continue to go back from this another 360 degrees.
So what you're really saying to find this out
is we're just adding and subtracting our 360 from the principal angle.
without having to do that circle, whatever.
Yeah, that's just to help you make sense of what a full rotation is.